XRP is now showing signs of repeating a very specific and bullish pattern, one that Bitcoin followed in 2024 right before it skyrocketed past the $100,000 mark. The similarities are striking, especially when we look at how both assets behaved under bearish pressure and how key indicators reacted during their respective consolidation periods. Let's break this down. For the past 6 months, XRP has managed to hold above the critical $2 support level, despite persistent bearish momentum. This level has become a strong foundation for XRP, even during market corrections or dips driven by broader crypto sentiment. What makes this notable is that XRP has maintained this position even as its MACD, moving Average Convergence Divergence, remains heavily bearish. Now, for those unfamiliar, the MACD is a widely used technical indicator that helps traders understand momentum and trend shifts. In simple terms, it tracks two moving averages, the 12-period and the 26-period EMAs. When an MACD line crosses below the signal line or drops below the zero level, it usually indicates that downward momentum is building. And this is exactly what happened to XRP. After its rally to around $3 in early March, the MACD flipped bearish. As expected, XRP's price dropped, but only to the $2 support, not lower. What's more interesting is that despite MACD showing even deeper bearish signals through April and May, XRP refused to collapse. It either bounced back quickly after brief dips or simply held its ground. That's unusual. In many cases, a sustained bearish MACD trend results in steady price declines. But here, XRP's price is not following that script. In fact, the consistent defense of the $2 level by bulls is a strong sign of accumulation. In other words, large buyers or long-term holders may be stepping in every time the price weakens. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Bitcoin went through a nearly identical phase in 2024. Around April of that year, Bitcoin's MACD also flipped bearish just as its price fell toward $50,000. But then, despite continued bearish MACD signals for months, Bitcoin held support at $53,550. The market stayed quiet, momentum indicators looked negative, and yet BTC didn't break lower. Then in November 2024, a bullish catalyst, partly driven by renewed investor confidence during the U.S. election cycle, flipped Bitcoin's MACD back to bullish. That was the spark. From there, Bitcoin rallied hard, surging past its previous highs and eventually reaching $108,364 by December. If XRP is now following the same pattern, the next stage would be a breakout. And the key question becomes, how far could XRP go? If XRP mirrors Bitcoin's 101% breakout from its base level, the target sits around $4.02, roughly double its current price of $2.09. But XRP tends to be more volatile than Bitcoin, both on the way down and up. So, it's entirely possible that a breakout could reach even higher. Also worth noting is that while Bitcoin had stronger institutional backing in 2024, XRP has been building its own momentum this year. With recent settlements with the SEC, ongoing global partnerships by Ripple, and increasing political and regulatory clarity around crypto in the U.S., the conditions are starting to line up. The key takeaway? We're looking at a potential market setup, not just a speculative hope. XRP is showing signs of strength, not just on price charts, but in how it's reacting to pressure. The fact that MACD remains bearish while the price holds steady is not something to ignore. It tells us that sentiment is quietly shifting, even if the indicators haven't yet caught up. If the MACD flips bullish, just like it did for Bitcoin, that could be the beginning of XRP's next big move. Whether the price stops at $4 or pushes even higher will depend on momentum, broader market trends, and investor confidence. For now, the pattern is clear. XRP is holding firm while technicals point down, just like Bitcoin did before it ran to 6 figures. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is XRP ready for that kind of breakout? Or do we need to see more confirmation? And don't forget to subscribe for more crypto updates that actually follow the data, not the hype. See you in the next one.